Hello everyone. Hi. Hello. 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 Let's make sure Facebook is working. Dad, could I get you to share once I get Facebook working? Okay, we're just going live as we speak, and that was a fly flying through the camera frame because why not, as they say. Okay, and that one there is all good. Dad, are you sharing? Yeah, I'm doing it now. Cool. Okay. Hello everyone. So tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of like a Western girl type theme. I also have these color cuts from A Day to Remember because I thought they looked quite cutesy with it. But we'll see how we go with that one there. So I think I've also got my phone fixed this week, so it should be good. But first, like Western Girl, to me, is a fun collection. And it's not just fun because it's amazing and it's beautiful how it's designed. It's fun because we get to be a little bit free with the paint. So let's come in and do that, shall we? So I've also lost my palette. I think my younger brother has borrowed it, Noah. So we're just going to live without the palette tonight. We're going to use our piece of backing paper to do it, which is okay. This works. It's worked before and it will work again. Oh, hello, Di, and Kelly, and Diana. All of you. Right. Okay. So we've got our 3 browns, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and yellow ochre. And then let's grab our blending brush. Come in and have some fun. So with our blending brush and water, so grab some water, some of the brown. It is hot today, so we're going to do super wet techniques because they're going to dry so easily. So let's just come in and give it a bit of a splatter. Just being nice and loose. This is our background layer, so something doesn't look right on this layer. It's not the end of the world because we probably won't see it in the end. Look at that. And then time for our third one. I do like this trio of browns when I do brown, like artworks that mainly feature brown paint. Just because, oh my gosh, I've got paint on my screen. It's flicked up and over. That's amazing sort of physics. Okay. Just because they do blend really nicely together. Like, look at that. Now, my frame is completely covered in paint. That's okay. I'm sure we'll live. I think we need a bit more darker brown, though. And what do we think? Yay or nay? I reckon that looks pretty good. Not gonna lie. There we go. So the main goal with that one is just to cover the background and to use lots of water when doing it. The more water you use, the more easy it is to come in and get it nice and splashy. We're just gonna come in and scrape that one off and then dunk it a bit in the water and so like that. If you're at home, I would wash that one immediately after use. That way then you've got no chance of ruining your blending brush. But we're just going to sit that one there for the moment. And then let's come in and dry this. So giving it a bit of a heat. Okay, so we've got most of the water dried up there. So now what we want to come and do is I'm going to use this border stencil. It's number 11. I don't think we've ever used it in a mixed media class before. It's one of our very first stencils. So let's grab out. Just dropped my yellow paint off the other side there. Oh, Noah.
Can you pass me the
Yeah, there we go. Just found something of Noah's. Go and find it. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Excellent. There we go. Didn't find the yellow paint I just dropped. Okay, so I've got a bit of white just here next to my green paint on my very clean desk, as you can tell. We might be due for some new background paper soon. I use paper so then once it's like a little bit too overloaded even for me, I'll use it as like collage on a painting. So let's come in and get our gesso brush. We're just going to get, we print Evie Stevie's coat on our gesso brush. What I want to do is I want to use it to stencil down my patterns, but I don't want them to be perfect or anything like that. So when I come and do it, I'm actually not pressing in. I'm doing lightly forwards and back because I want them to be kind of a little bit more like a ghost print stencil rather than like out there it's stenciled on there. So like a ghost type print. And the white's going to make sure it already like peeps through the browns because it's a high contrast with the brown color. So and a bit up here as well, I think. So, and the white does mix a little bit with the brown, that's okay. Just gives it a bit of character. And then we're going to get a little bit of our blending brush and make it less watery. So I've only loaded up my blending brush of water twice. I don't think I'm going to load it up any more than what I have already. Just going to collect the leftover bit of brown that we've got here. There's that one. And now, so this is what we've got so far. Bit of a motley pattern of the browns there. And now we want to come in and put our rice paper down, I think. So let's move this to one side to dry. And come in and let's have a look, see. So I'm just going to rip it first, and then I'll come in and feather. When you're ripping, you don't have a lot of control with the rice paper. That's why I prefer to feather my rice paper. It means I have a little bit more control over what does and doesn't happen and where it rips. So just coming in, and let's feather off this edge here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to feather off all of my margins and then come in and rip it because I want it to be a little bit random with the ripping. There we go. So there's the feathering of that bit. Oh, hello, Diane. Oh, that's okay, Diane. Okay, so let's come in and rip just a little bit. Go. So there's our brown. I definitely want to use this horsey pattern. So the only thing that we've really done to this horse pattern was that it was sitting, well, to the Western Girl pattern, the rice paper here, is that it was sitting off to the side close enough that it got the oversplash of our splatters from our first layer. So just as a heads up. And now let's come in and have a look of our ripped pieces. Then I haven't ripped this one up yet, but I want to put like a little bit of it up there. Small piece down here. And then just a bit of a ripped piece down and in there, I think. A bit bigger of a small piece here, so that piece like that there. And then I'm going to come in, I think, after sticking these down and just do another gesso layer, well, white paint with the gesso brush layer on top, just in a few spots, and then just seeing if there's anything I want to use in this color cut pack. Because I do like that horse there. And this horse. I'm not sure about the boot. I might cut the top off the boot. Hold on. Scissors, scissors, scissors. There they are. Anyone got any suggestions? Any color suggestions? Everyone's happy with the colors so far? That one up there, building like a little bit of a landscape type thing. And then There's that one. So, okay, we need to stop. I love color cuts because it can just like kind of fill in a painting and fill in a scene real easy. Like I don't have to paint all these bits now. But gluing. Need to glue. So let's come in and glue. This is going to be easy. Let me see. I'm just deciding what glue would be best for my layers. I'm just thinking. Because we could go with the general like gel medium, gel matte. But my other option is I can use like this yellow ochre to stick it down. And then we can have that brown coming out. We can make like some shadows if we stick down our bits and pieces with brown paint. And a little bit of white with our rice paper. So then what we can do is we can make shadows, which I think will be worth it. So let's come out and bring out our 3 browns again. And our white. Also, is everyone okay with the camera height? I hope so. It's just enough that you can see it really up close, but it's, well, you can also see like with the paints and stuff. And I've got that in paint. Of course I do. 1 minute. Just come and get rid of the excess. And let's look down the first one here. So up here. So by doing this, it means that, so we're not going to rub obviously a layer on top of our color cuts this time around. What we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit the paint down where we're going to go. Come in. Stick it down. And we're going to push the excess brown paint out. And if we've got excess brown paint on our fingers, what we can do is push it a little bit out, make it a bit rustic looking. Look at that layer. I do like, so now it's like peering out of the brown. So let's come in and do, we've got to do on this page here, I'm going to do this color cut first. So we might do it in the burnt sienna, which is like a reddy brown. Come and stick that down and then just do that bit. And then let's use some yellow ochre, I think, for this one. So you can always use paint as a glue. I still prefer gel medium matte over it, but I do think it is kind of helpful sometimes if you want to get those tones through a pattern that you think you might lose, or to get a bit of shadowing. So let's stick that one down there like so, and that there is just a bit of a big piece. So what we might do, we'll come in just with a little bit of the gel medium gloss here. Just going to put a little bit on top. I'm going to seal that rice paper down. We don't really have to do that with the color cuts, just with the rice paper, I think, on this one, because the rice paper bits we're sticking down are quite large, and they're more likely that then we might get a little bit of a paint bubble we might get a bit of an air bubble because the paint won't be fully sealing it. So let's use some dark brown now to stick this one down. Okay, and then stick it down there. Ooh. Make it look like it belongs. There we go. And then, oh no, hold on, that's the bottom layer. The next layer we've got is this layer, but before that we've got him there. So let's grab our red brown. Come and stick it down. So the burnt sienna. Just give it a bit of a red tinge as we go along the edge there. It's kind of like inking, just a little bit of rubbing. If you're doing this with a paintbrush, you just do it in a swirl motion as you go across the edge. I do get it if you don't like the feeling of paint on your hands. It's okay. So I reckon go over like that there. Okay, all right, let's come in. And what we might use is some white paint mixed in with the burnt sienna, so it makes it a bit of like a peachy colour. Anyone who didn't know, it's kind of like a secret colour that burnt sienna hides. Okay. And then let's grab the gel medium. Then let's come and stick our boots down with some burnt umber. Okay, and then let's just okay, so this one here we're gonna put down the yellow ochre. And then this one here. There's that one. And then let's put some of this gel medium gloss down on the back where I'm going to stick it down. Here we go. And just come in and form it a bit more. So we get to see those boots. Then we're going to do a bit of a combo here. We're going to rub the gel medium gloss down. I'm going to come and get a bit of the burnt umber. Just rub it along the edges here, and by the wetness of the rice paper, we're going to feather that excess right off. And look at that there. One page stuck. Yay! And let's come and do our next page. So this one here, we're going to do a bit of white and a bit of the burnt umber. So it's going to make like a very light browny color. And then we're going to come in and come to stick it down. One second. There we go. And then just come down, and so that's the top layer, that there. So the first bit we're going to stick down is our rice paper here. And I think we're going to stick it down with this yellow ochre colour. So just getting the yellow ochre. All the paint we've used so far tonight is the Mop paints. Do you like? And I don't plan to use that gel medium gloss anymore, so good. Now a thin layer of gel medium gloss over top to seal it in place. If it was like a small piece of rice paper, or like that big, I wouldn't worry too much about doing the gel medium gloss layer as such. Where's that bit there? Sticking down. There we go. And then using the yellow ochre, let's stick down this one. Then let's stick down this one here. Need a bit more. It's just getting a bit hot, so just need a bit more thick paint on here. So the burnt umber being used with this dark rice paper pattern means that it actually brings out the tones a bit more than what if we used white with it. It's a bit of an opposite, whereas the light pan that we've stuck down with the yellow ochre here, you can tell because we haven't put white in it, it's not as strong as the other two are. I'm just going to use a bit of white. Stick that one down there. And then grabbing a bit of gel medium gloss out of our cut tube that I've got here. And we're going to make sure that the gloss actually comes up rustic by adding in a bit of texture with one of our brushes. Now we can do that with any brush we actually have, but depends what texture you're looking for realistically. Okay, and then there we go. There's those two, and now let's come in, and where's, here we go, that gesso brush. So a dry gesso brush, you get 3 in a pack, which is helpful. We're just going to come in and kind of texturize our gel medium gloss that's on top. And any paint that we've got pooling left on top from our shadowing. Then we're going to grab a bit of paint. Going to start with the burnt umber. And just add it in lightly. And then we're going to grab the burnt sienna. And then the yellow ochre. Something must be. Yeah, there we go. Figured out what it was. Righty. Oh, and now I think we just got one last step to go. And that's just adding this stencil pattern back in just a smidge. Just the smallest little bit with some white. And tonight, would you believe we're going to use all 3 of our gesso brushes. This is the big one. I wait to use this one to last to see if I'm going to use all 3 because this one here actually doesn't fit in my water jar, in my jam, see? So, if you're like me who uses jam jars as water jars, this one here, it's beautiful. It's amazing to use. Just need to wash it immediately after use. So, let's come in and lay down our stencil. We're going to get a pretty fair coverage on that one. And I want like the little horseshoe and sun here. So, let's come in and do some lining up. It's going to look like we've just kind of splattered them on, but we are going to aim for a few Pacific ones. Just, you know. They are actually going to be 100% the ones we want. So that one, and that one, I don't want to do the star, those 2 stars there. Once again, just lightly doing it. And we might do this in 5 spots. Just because odd numbers our eyes like. And then there we go. There's those ones there. And then just using a little bit of that extra umber just coming in. So there we go. Now I don't know. Oh, needs one more thing. Bit of water on a fan brush. Bit of this white paint. Bit more water on the fan brush. And then not everywhere, just in a few choice spots. So we've gone for our W, yeah. W. And then where's some of that bird sienna? Just need a little bit of this red. Well, it's not really red, is it? It's burnt sienna, and we're just going to come in. Do a few divots there. Few divots there. And I think we are done. There we go, our Western Girl Mixed Media art journal page. So if you don't know, this weekend is the virtual part of the Western Girl Retreat, which means that if you're not doing it, we actually have 2 free to watch classes, both Friday and Saturday night scrap-alongs. If you're doing the retreat, there is 6 exclusive classes over the, oh no, it's 8 exclusive classes over the 3 days, the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we have our usual weekly classes, which you can get through the Creative Hub. This video will also be loaded up onto the Creative Hub as well, if you're a Creative Hub member. So it should be quite fun. But thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed this art journal class. And we'll see you all very soon on our next mixed media, if not next class. Have a wonderful day and a beautiful week. Oh, and stay out of the heat and stay safe. Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming.